Yeah, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi everyone, this is Gurneet from Alma Vector team, and I'm here to present you a masterclass on dissecting Uber's architecture, creating a seamless rider experience. But before we go ahead with this interesting masterclass, let me give you a little brief about Alma Beta. So we are a student-first edtech platform, and we are relentlessly working towards a better tomorrow for our students. And in today's masterclass, you will be learning about Uber's architecture and about its core components, strategies employed by Uber to handle millions of ride requests and ensure real-time responsiveness. Then best practices for crafting fault-tolerant, scalable systems that can support rapid user growth and integration of cutting-edge features into the Uber platform to enhance the rider experience, as well as real-world case studies showcasing Uber's innovative functionalities and their technical implementation. Right now, I'll introduce you to our esteemed instructor for today, who's an assistant professor at University of Haven, Mr. Monesh Venkul, who will bring his expertise about Uber's architecture. Now, I will hand over the session to Monesh. I hope you have an amazing and stimulating learning experience through this masterclass. Over to you, Monesh.
Yeah, thank you, Gurneet. Be sharing my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so please do confirm if you're able to see my screen and like listen to my voice. Is it audible good?
Yeah, it's audible, and your
Yeah.
screen is also visible.
So yeah, good afternoon then. My name is Monesh. I like teaching and all. So yeah, less about me, more about this today's session. Uh, I know some of you are new and you're looking for career change. Some of you are stepping into this web development, software engineering, coding, and all. You may have a lot of questions. You may have a lot of things that you want to know but don't know how to get it. So that is where Alma Beta comes into play. Alma Beta helps you to create a path for you to know what you want to get to. Like for example, coding or software development, web development, maybe it is data science. Wherever you want your end career to be, the path uh, was given to you by Alma Beta. So yeah, I'll answer. I'll talk about many things today. I'll talk about what are the things you will be doing, uh, like what are the technologies you will be learning, and for example, as a case study, we'll be also talking about Uber. Before talking about Uber, even starting about Uber, dissecting Uber, how it works and all. I just want to. I don't know if there is a poll, but yeah, I'll just cover off quickly what is front end and back end. Like for creating an application, we need both a front end part and the back end part and the database part. I'll just quickly cover it so that we are all in the same pace. So yeah, I'll just give a brief introduction of what is what and so that we just all be in the same pace. Are you able to see my pen? Like my pointer, are you able to see it? I think you won't be able to see it. Yeah, you're not able to see the pointer. 1 second, I'll just reshare. Yep, now you will be able to see it. Yep. So, if you have any questions, you can put up in chat. I'll just talk about applications. So, right now, maybe you are from a BTech background or you're from a non-technical background. Your background may be something else, but from now on, we will be diving into coding and what you will be doing after learning coding. For example, you will be some of the concepts like JavaScript, Node.js. I know this some of the concepts may be new to you. These names also may be new to you, but you will be learning these things which are top tier in the industry. You'll be learning about JavaScript, Node.js, React.js. You'll be learning about Angular. You'll be learning about databases. You'll be learning about lot of stuff. You'll be learning about data structures with the primary core of any software development. You'll be learning lot of this kind of stuff: JavaScript, React.js, Angular, DB, data structures, whatever it may be. You'll be learning a lot of this stuff. But after learning all this, what you do? The question is, with all this knowledge, what you do? A warrior is nothing without a war. A warrior's performance can only be given in a war. It's the same way. A coder's performance, how much you learn. You learn JavaScript, Node.js, React.js. You learn different top tier technologies. You won't be a, a beneficial resource if you are not able to create an application. What is an application? Anything that you use in day-to-day life, your YouTube. I'll give you some of the examples. YouTube, your alma mater's website, Google, Uber. Still you have Ola, maybe. And yeah, you have etc. You have a lot of these things. If you're able to develop these kind of websites, like you have to develop this kind of websites, only then you are a valuable resource to any company. Without having, if you're having a lot of knowledge, if you don't know how to apply it, if you don't know how to implement it, the knowledge goes to waste. So you need to implement applications at the end. Anyhow, when you get a job or you go somewhere, you will be developing applications. At the end, your end goal is to develop applications like YouTube, Alma Better, Uber, Ola, something. You have to develop applications. So developing any applications, I'll not go too deep, but for developing any application, okay, for developing any application, you need to know basics like front end, back end, and at the end you also need to have something called database. Sometimes database comes under backend, but we treat it as a separate thing. So I'm not, again, there are multiple layers. Not only this, you have multiple layers in it. You have services, microservices, you have multiple layers, but I'll not go too deep. So for building any applications like Google, Amazon, Uber, Ola, anything, your all applications will have front-end development plus back-end development plus databases. You may ask me, sir, what is this front-end? What is this back-end? What is this database? What is this all? So front-end development, you can think of it like whatever you see on the screen. For example, let me open Google. Or anyways, we'll be talking about Uber. So let me open Uber. So whatever you see here, this nice logo, its background, the picture, your input fields, everything that you see is your front end. That is your front end development. You can think front end developer as your like your skin and all. Whatever you see on the application, that is your front end development. Next, let's see. Let's take it as whatever you see, your images, background styles, structure. All this comes under front end development. Sir, now what is backend development? Backend development is nothing but anything that gives functionality to your website, anything that gives functionality to your web page. For example, for front end development, as an example, I told you that your screen, your body, your style, how you portray yourself, your the way you dress, these are all your front end development. The way how you showcase yourself, that is your front end development. But the actual functionality, for example, like drinking, walking, running, these are actions that you cannot show to someone. For example, your breathing, it's an action. Some the actions that you perform, in the interactions that you perform, that you cannot directly show or do, that is your back-end development. The actions you perform is your back-end development. And here is where your actual logic will decide. Your logic, your actions. This is where your back-end development comes into place. For example, if I'm entering some location, maybe some location, and or if I click on login or sign up, something happens, right? There has to be a logic behind what is going on. That is nothing but your backend development. And then comes your database. Database is nothing but the place where you store. The place where you store all the data, all the user data, all the cab data, anything, whatever the data you have to store it somewhere. So to complete an application, a basic application, you need to know front-end development, you need to know back-end development, and also you need to know databases. These are all the things that you need to know. Okay. Now the next question arises. Sir, when do I become a full stack developer? And also one more thing. If a person knows front-end development, back-end development, and also databases, like all the three, then he is called a full stack developer. And we have an amazing course on it. Alphabet has an amazing course on full stack web development. So that guy, the developer, he's called as a full stack web developer. Now the next question. So to become a full stack web developer, you told us that front end development and back end development and databases are needed. Next, for learning front end development, what are the technologies that you need to know? For learning front end development, you need to primarily know HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Learn these three things, you will be called as a front end developer. You can still learn a lot of things in this, like React.js, AngularJS. There are many layers. But if you are able to learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you will be called as a front end developer. And you don't need to learn only JavaScript. You can learn many other things, but primarily, usually people learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and they're called as front-end developers. For back-end developers, usually, I'm talking about usually, people learn Node.js, Express.js, and if you're a Python guy, you can learn Flask, or for JavaScript, you have Spring Boot. You have many other technologies, but primarily people usually, most of the developers, they usually go with Node.js and Express.js, which are famous. And for databases, you also have SQL, Oracle, MongoDB. You have SQL, Oracle, and MongoDB, and any one you can learn, any one. So for becoming a front-end development, you need to learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. For learning back-end development, you need to know Node.js or Express.js. For databases, anyone, but any one of these things, SQL, Oracle, MongoDB, PostgreSQL, you have many things. Any one is enough. If you are able to do all these things, then you are called as a full stack web developer. You are called as a full stack web developer. Now, after learning all these things, for example, you have learned front-end development, back-end development, you have learned databases, you have joined Alma Better after 3 months, you have completed the entire full stack development course. And after that, you are joined in a company. After joining in a company, you need to develop applications. That is where the actual thing comes into play. Because you are learning all this, you're doing all this at the end to learn about full stack web development. You're doing all this to learn full stack web development and to develop applications. That is your main goal. You're doing all this to develop applications. Okay. So again, for building applications, you need to know all these things. Okay. Now, what are the things that you need to consider into an applications which are not being taught? For example, I'll show you a small picture. I've not started it, but yeah, these are all called design principles, which does not come under your technology. This is not your direct technology. This is not direct coding involved. These are called design principles. Design principles in the sense, with the knowledge that you have, how do you implement it? There are n number of ways to implement an application. There are nearly 1,000 ways to implement an application. In the 1,000 ways, what is the best way? What are the best principles that you can hold to develop an applications? We'll talk about system design. System design is nothing but how do you design your system? How do you design your app? What are the things that you need to consider when designing your app? These are the things we will be dealing today. And yeah, we'll also talk about some of the things that Uber does. Uber does this kind of surge pricing system, and it also uses an algorithm called Dissecting algorithm. I'll talk about that too. In one time, using this algorithm, a developer hacked even Uber. He used to do some hacks to pay less to Uber. I'll talk about that too. And yeah, we will also see about analytics and monitoring, like how Uber analyze your data, how it monitors all your precious data and comes up with pricing systems, comes up with offers. I don't know if you have ever done this. Uber Eats. Good example of this is Uber Eats. In Uber Eats, if you order food, and if you don't like the food, you can click on the help option and you can report it. You can report that my food is not so good and I want my money back. For the first time, they will pay you. For the second time, they'll pay you. For the third time, they will not pay you directly. They will give you offers. They'll give you offers and promotions instead of directly refunding your money back. Fourth time and fifth time, they won't even give a proper reply to you back. There is some logic going on here. And maybe for the sixth time, they will again refund your money. You cannot predict whether your money will be refunded back to you or not. It has many factors. It has many factors for your money to be refunded. And I'll talk about this thing too. And then we will be having a small quiz. We'll be playing a small quiz, which are questions that are from this PPT that we are gonna see. And yeah, at last, then we'll see again about Alma, and then we will. So yeah, we'll start the actual event. I'll just give you a pre-information of what you needed to understand today's event. So yeah, now actually let's start today's event. I made it full screen and it's in a slideshow format. Can someone confirm if you're able to see the screen? Because sometimes it happens when we do a slideshow, usually Zoom sometimes. Yeah, you're able to see that. Thank you, Nishan. So yeah, now your actual event starts. We will be talking about Uber. Our main goal of today is Uber. We will be dissecting Uber. In a sense, we will be doing an operation. We are doing postmortem on the Uber. We will be seeing how it works, what it does, why it has become a superpower of cab transportation or cab ride, whatever you call in ride sharing in the world, what it does differently, and how it operates. These are the few things that we are gonna see today. And yeah, there questions also will be asked from this PPT. So yeah, once pay attention. Yeah, Uber actually works on three models. It has three business models. If you see, it has three business models. Recently, they have started even Connect also, Uber Connect, which is for transportation of your goods and all. So, but still, it is still new, and it is not available in most of the places. Like in US, it is available here, but I don't know in India. It is still it is getting implemented. It's not yet started, I guess. So yeah, Uber primarily it has ride sharing option. You all know ride sharing. What is meant by ride sharing? You book a cab, you go into it, and it will drop you in some particular destination. When from the time you book your cab and from the time you reach your destination, Uber performs like thousands and 10,000s of operations behind your with your data, which you don't know. I will be seeing all that thing because it collects every point of data from the point you open Uber. Once you open Uber, you are giving data to Uber servers. Next is food delivery. Food delivery is just the same thing. Like you will be booking a food from a particular restaurant. A Uber delivery guy goes there, picks it up, and brings it to you. That is your food delivery. And next is your freight transportation, which is not which you don't use often. Like we don't use the freight transportation, but there is an actual thing called freight transportation. I can show you. Even I don't know about this Uber freight before. After doing some research, I come to know Uber freight is nothing but if you see here, there is something called Uber freight. Uber also provides transportation services. It also provides transportation services like large goods from one place to another place. Usually industries use this. Common people like you and me, we don't use it. So Uber freight also it does transportation services. In the same way, there is also called Uber Connect, which came into play. I'll show you. There's also something called Uber Connect. Uber Connect, which is an sub functionality in your ride share. But what it does differently is that, for example, if I have to deliver a package, if I want to deliver a package, I no need to book Uber. I no need to get into the cab. I no need to go to the destination. I no need to deliver the package. The Uber guy does it for me. It's just like food delivery, but you are the restaurant here. You will be giving the package to the Uber guy. He will be taking to the destination and he will be dropping it off. This is one more option that was introduced in Uber, which is a bit new. So yeah, these are its business models. It has ride sharing, food delivery, and freight transportation. Next, this is how Uber personalized it, but you may think that they made it so easy and all, but this is not how they started. Uber started in 2011. So yeah, this is how Uber used to look like. This is how Uber used to look like back in United States in 2011. At that time, it used to be very rough, and there is no real-time data. Like real-time data in the sense, if a car moves in the map, the icon also moves along with it. At that time, there's nothing like that. Everything used to happen manually. There's no real-time data and all. It used to be very rough. The UI used to be very bad. If you see here, this is how UI used to look like in 2011. The good thing is they are not dependent on Google Maps like how other service providers when ride sharing they have started. They started to using Google Maps, but Uber is the only what to say company instead of relying on Google, they have built their own mapping system. They have implemented their own algorithms. They have implemented their own, mapping coordinating system, which is a complete different thing. So yeah, they have implemented their own mapping coordination system instead of depending on Google Maps for it. That is a good thing that Uber does. That made them completely different from other cab service providers. And right now, today, Uber Cab's UI looks something like this. It has become very simple, very precise. On the top, you can see here. On the top, you can see the map, your location where you need to go and where you are getting started. Sorry, where you're getting started and where's your destination. It exactly shows the path which it takes. And remember, Uber uses Dijkstra algorithm for calculating your path. I'll show you this too. This was a blog written by Uber, and here they have mentioned that they are using this search algorithm. It's not a thing that they have implemented it. It's there from many years in software industry, but they have used it. They have used it to come up with the shortest path and the best path for any cab to reach its destination. So Uber does it first, and yeah, it uses Dijkstra algorithm. Remember it, and and it also shows you all its different kinds of services like Uber Go, Uber Auto, Uber Go Sedan, and its prices. This is what a good UI looks like. It's not complicated. It's not so clumsy and all. It's so simple, to the point, with concise colors. If you see, the only colors in the entire UI that they have used is primarily black and white. They have used only black and white. If you see the Uber Cabs UI, other than black and white, only for few things like logo or the car model and car color, and for the buttons here, the green tag and all. Mostly they have sticked with white and black and white. They have mostly sticked with black and white. This is what a good UI looks like. It is simple, to the point, conveys the message properly, and it's not clumsy. And the same thing goes with Uber Eats also. If you see Uber Eats also, previously the UI used to look bad, but now they have fixed it. Usually, now you may ask me, sir, you told me here they have not used much colors, but here if you see, they are using more colors and all, because here Uber Eats more focus is on food. There Uber Cabs more focus is on functionality and just you reaching your destination. That's it. But here in Uber Eats, they have to actually sell you the products. In Uber Cabs, they are not selling; they're just giving services. But in Uber Eats, it's a different story. They're selling you. Uber Eats, it's just like a shop. Think of it as a shop. They're selling you products. Here, once you open Uber Eats, this is Suki Ramen chocolate co. The shops are not selling it. Logically, the shops are selling it, but in an upper level, Uber is selling you the products. Uber is selling you the product. You're buying from Uber. You're buying from Uber. Uber is getting it from somewhere else. But you are buying it from, you're paying your money to Uber. Uber is doing something in the background. That is for a second thing. But you are buying it directly from the Uber. So based on that, it has to sell you. If it is just black and white, it won't be colorful. It won't be joyful. You won't be distracted. To sell something, Uber has to make you distracted, to be honest. Every shop does that. You have to be distracted to buy more products. Even Uber does the same technique. So that is the reason, if you see here, they have added some good picture of fries and burger. They want you to click on pick up grocery prescription topics. In any UI, the center part is a very important place. The center part. That is the reason even the center part gives the best pricing. The center part in any UI is where your thumb actually reaches, even in the phone or even in your laptop. that is the area where your mouse moves around, and that is the area your thumb usually rotates near this part, near the middle, somewhat down of the middle. That is where the actual real important things goes on. And that is where they have actually kept to pick up grocery, prescription, topics, deals, which is a very good thing to do. They have not wasted this place, and they have used it in a correct manner. And also, yeah, your goes your address, and everything regarding the UI, everything looks clean and neat. Next, Uber Freight, also the same thing as your Uber cabs, because they are not actually selling anything. But again, they're just giving services. They're not selling anything. They just, this is the point A, this is the point B, and you're going from here to there. So this is what is going with Uber Freight. And that is why they have stick mostly again with black and white here. But here they made it to look so good. And you will be learning all these techniques regarding UI development, front-end development again in our course. Our course, it tells you how to build a UI, what are the different aspects in building the UI. You need to think a lot. It's not that adding colors, adding background, it's not that easy. You need to think in different ways to attract your customers. And yeah, you will be learning all this in this course. So, and you will be primarily using React.js for this. Even Uber does it. Uber also uses React.js. You will also be using React.js, and you'll be creating wonderful applications like this. And one more good thing about Alma Better's React.js teaching is that once you learn React.js, you can use it to build anything. Anything in the sense, you can use React.js. There's something called React Native, which is similar to React.js. Once you learned it, you can build iOS apps, Android apps. You can develop games on it. You can develop virtual reality applications on it. You can, build usual websites. You just need to code once and use it everywhere. That's the logic of React Native. Yeah, you can do that. And even Uber does it few times. It uses the same logic, same functionality, same UI in all the different platforms. Next comes the design principles of large-scale systems. And there's one more thing I'll talk about later, high-level design and low-level design, but I'll talk about it later. So yeah, design principles for large-scale systems. Now you have learned everything. You have completed this course. You have completed the Alma Better's web development course. Then now you are thinking to create an application on your own. You have a business idea. From that business idea, you are trying to create your own application. You will be creating your own application. Now, to create that application, you need to, other than technology, like other than JavaScript, React.js, and all this technology, Node.js and all, you need to know something called design principles. What are the design principles that you need to use to create wonderful applications? These are all the things that are, for example, I'll talk about each one by one. You need to consider first scalability. And lot of interviews also goes around the scalability, mostly Google, Amazon. Whenever they're trying to interview you, they will be taking up this point of scalability. Scalability is nothing but you always try to develop applications thinking of like few customers, like 100,000, 10,000, maybe, that's all. You always tend, as a developer, you tend to only think of 10,000 customers, and you'll be creating an application. But what if there are 1 million customers? What if there are 1 billion customers? It happens. Maybe someday your app suddenly booms up, suddenly it becomes another YouTube. Right now, YouTube is the #1 app that everyone uses. There's no doubt in it. If you want to check the stats, you can check it. Even when YouTube, when they started it, they thought, yeah, who is gonna use it? They started it in a normal way, but then they understood the potential of YouTube, and then they worked on scalability. They have worked on UI, and now YouTube is a complete different thing. Even the best example I can give you is Facebook. Even Mark Zuckerberg, in an interview, he directly told that when I started this Facebook app, I never thought it will be going this much big. I only thought of only few customers, like 10 to 20 and I started to build this application. But right now it was a complete different thing. So that is what scalability means. Scalability is nothing but, I'll write it down. We'll go one by one. So the first thing you have to think in your mind is scalability. Scalability asks the question, what if your customers volume changes? Volume or size, you can also think of size. So size in the sense, what if your capacity of your customer changes? It can be shrink, it can be expand. It doesn't mean it is always growing. Sometimes maybe because of like COVID or something comes, and maybe your customer size decreases. Then what happens to your application? If it decreases, what happens? If it increases, what happens? You have to deal with it. You have to deal with it. That is scalability. And you will be learning about all these things. You'll be learning about all these things, like how to work on scalability, how to work on availability, reliability. You will be learning all these things. But yeah, just to know what is scalability, that is scalability. If your customers shrinks or expands, you need to handle them. You need to handle them. Another example I can give is exam results. Any exam results website, if you see, the best example, exam results website. Throughout the year, the website will be open. Throughout the year, it will be available. You can open it anytime. It will run super fast. The website will run super fast. But during your exam results, when you try to open the website, it won't get open. It will be lot of lag. It will tell you not found. It will tell you error. It will tell you not able to open it. Please check the internet connection. Blah 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 stuff. All it will be telling it to you. That is a good example of scalability. Because on that particular day, there you will be having a lot of customers. The websites will be having a lot of customers. How you are handling it, what you are doing to handle it. That is the question of scalability. How you are handling your increase in customers number. How you are doing it. Next is availability. Availability. What happens if something goes wrong? In a sense, you built your application like Google, Uber, Amazon. You have your application ready. Suddenly, think of a situation where, as a customer, I'm trying to open Uber. I want to book Uber. I want to book a. See, nowadays I'm not saying cab. I'm saying Uber. That is how they have revolutionized the cab, the like car ride sharing world. I'm not saying cab now. I'm saying Uber. So yeah, I want to book a cab. I'm opening Uber in my phone. When I pressed on Uber, the Uber logo came, but it's not open. It's not going in. Or else think that it's going in, but when I pressed on my destination, it's not showing me anything. Like it's not able to get any car. It's not able to get any car. The cars are not showing up. No ride is getting available. First time it happened. Second time it happened. Third time will I open Uber again? No. Obviously, I will shift to something else. In US here, if there is no Uber, we'll shift to Lyft. LYFT. There's something called LYFT. We'll shift to Lyft. There we will shift to Ola. Something else. There are always alternatives available. If this is not there, we'll be just moving to another thing. So that is your availability. You should be always be available to your customer. You should be always be available to your customer. Maybe your server is going down. Put it in another server. You have a backup. You need to have a backup for everything. If your database production something went wrong, have another database ready. This is also one more thing that you need to take care of. 24/7, every second, your app should be available to the customer. Even Google and Amazon, if 1 second, I'm talking about 1 second. If 1 second their app something goes wrong and it is not available properly, that's it. They're gonna lose a lot of customers. They're gonna lose a lot of revenue. So that is the reason you should be always available to your customers. Next is reliability. Reliability, usually it is a very interesting word actually. How reliable you can be, how reliable you are. This question, reliability, talks about two things: trust and how good things are working out. For example, I booked a Uber again. I booked a Uber. The guy, the Uber driver, is taking me up. I went inside the cab, and usually if I take an auto or something, a bus, maybe if I reach the destination in 30 minutes. But the Uber guy is actually taking 30 minutes or 25 minutes. What is the need of booking a Uber? Where is the reliability there? How can I be reliable on if the same if the same time it is taking in bus or auto, I'll be just taking that. Why I need a Uber again? This reliability term can be dependent on many ways. It also depends on trust, how you're trusting the application and all. Usually, if you are developing an application without any bugs, and if you are able to give the utmost performance from that application, then you are reliable. Then you are considered to be reliable. If your application do not have any bugs, if your application is on time, and if your application like doing what to say, any non-practices kind of thing, any bad practices, then you are reliable. Again, extensibility, scalability are one of the same thing, but extensibility is nothing but adding more features. Scalability talks about adding more customers or changing customers. Extensibility talk about how you can extend your app, how you can add more features. For example, Uber does not have Uber Go Green, Uber Rideshare, Uber Connect. There's all Uber in 2018. Uber does not have all these things, but they're extending their application to incorporate all these things. So let's write extensibility. You have to ask yourself all these questions. That's why I'm writing it down. When you're creating an application, you have to question yourself. As a developer, you have to question yourself all these questions, and you need to answer yourself. Next is maintainability. Can you maintain your application? Because you will be using many packages, you'll be using many technologies, which are dependent on other factors, which are dependent on other developers. Are you able to maintain it, or is it constantly changing? For example, the code that you have written today, it has to be at least compiled, and it has to be in a good condition for the next 20 years. In the next 20 years, you should not change your code. Like, you should not just eradicate your code because of the technology changes. Your code has to be maintainable. Your code has to be upgraded one and then. So that is your maintainability. Just, are you able to maintain your code or not? A good example I can give you is the softwares that are written in 1990s and 1980s. They're no more here in the, like, they're no more working in at present generation. The best example is Facebook. If you see, Facebook was first started using PHP and very old technologies, but Facebook couldn't keep up with the present generation trend. In 2016, 17, 15, 2015, if you have used Facebook, you will know how buggy it is, how lagging it is. If you click on Facebook, if you click on pages, sometimes it opens, sometimes it will show something, and it is very laggy. Whereas if you, at the same time, if you take Discord or Slack, that gives you better performance, better UI. So what Facebook does, it has just eradicated all its code. It started from scratch and it has implemented its React a UI React.js thing. And now Facebook is good to use. It is back again. It's back in its full form. So your code has to be maintainable. If it is not maintainable, make it maintainable. Next, fault tolerance. Fault tolerance is again nothing but maybe some hacks or some security breaches. You need to be aware of all the fault tolerance. Maybe I can do a lot of different things. As I maybe think of that I'm a hacker, or maybe a server got failed. A server got failed. You need to handle it. You need to handle it. When you're creating an application, you need to think of 1,000 different ways to break your own application. Try to break your own application. That is a very good developer trait. Whenever you write some code, try to break it. Try to destroy it. Try to destroy your application on your own. Try different ways. You'll find it. After finding those different ways, you have to do something to tolerate that, to tolerate those faults. That is called fault tolerance. How do you stop it? How do you stop it from breaking it? That is what fault tolerance talks about. And whenever I read about fault tolerance, the a company that comes to my mind is Apple, because Apple's main motto, even I talk to Apple's developers, they have a separate team on fault tolerance. Whatever the software that they write, whatever the applications that they have a separate team to see whether I can break the application or not, whether I can break the software or not. If it is breakable, they will not release. If it is breakable, it will not release. They'll find different ways to break it, and they will build barricades around the thing to not to break. Maybe some breaches and all. They'll try to eradicate them as the best as possible. That is called a fault tolerance. And fault tolerance may not be done only by hackers. It's not like only hackers do fault. It's not only about hacking. Sometimes our own servers may fail. For example, I built an Uber application and suddenly my server got down. That is a fault tolerance. That's my mistake. I have not written the code properly. It's not someone hacker hacking into my system. My own problem, my own server, it got fault. I didn't write code well. I need to do something to fix it. So I need to have the fix ready before itself. Before it got break, I have to have the fix myself. So that is called fault tolerance. Next comes your modularity. The best question to be asked is my app module build? Module build in the sense, or modularity. This is in the sense you're creating your app. I'll write it here. For example, you have an app like this. Let's take Uber. You have your search here, your map here, your car ride here. Now, this is one module. This is one module. This is one module. Like you can create your app using this technique called modularity, where each function is a separate component. And we will we'll be getting this to we're gonna get this in your React.js thing. This is a front end technique. So everything that you see here can be broken down into sub components. These are actually called components. In our terminology, we call them components. So we can divide them into separate components. By using these components, what happens is For example, if I have another page, if I need to have a search functionality, again writing from the start, I can just copy paste this. I can just use this component here. And if I have only car ride instead of no map, I can just use this car ride functionality here. I no need to write the code again and again and again. Write once, use it many times. That is component. Instead of writing everything in one thing, you divide it into smaller things. That is modularity. Next is your security. This is where I told about the fault tolerance. Fault tolerance is different. Security is different. Security talks about outside thing. Fault tolerance usually talks about inside issues, inner issues. Security usually talks about outside issues, outside affecting factors, external factors like hacking, someone trying to break your code externally, or phishing attack, duck attack. There are a lot of attacks possible. So how you are preparing for it, that is your security. Is my app secure? Next, performance. I think I no need to even talk about performance. Nowadays, even if you have again, there is something called time complexity and space complexity in every code. Nowadays, even if you have a lot of space complexity, again, I won't go too deep and I won't overwhelm you. Even if the space of your application is like 100 GB or 80 GB, nowadays it doesn't matter, because 80 GB, 70 GB, it is okay until and unless you're giving the right performance. Your time, how much time it is taking you to do something. If I click on a button, rapidly it has to do something. If I click on Uber, it has to open. If I click on ride, it has to book. It has to be like in milliseconds of time. That is your performance. How good your performance is, how good your app performance is. And when talking about performance, the best example I can give you is, again, Apple gives you good performance, but the core concept of this, I have to give good time complexity, but space I doesn't care. I can give you the company that comes to my mind is Rockstar Games. I don't know if you heard about it or not. It is a game developer company, Rockstar Games. That is the company that gave you San Andreas, GTA 5, and all. If you talk about these games, the thing that always keeps this Rockstar Games, San Andreas, Vice City, GTA separately is because it is a good case study. Don't think like they're just games and all. They're very good case study games and case study company. They don't think more about space, because usually their game has lot of size. It has, even GTA 5 is like 128 GB, 150 GB kind of thing. But the performance it delivers is out of the box, like, because from 8 years it is the same game and it is still making billions outside. So the performance the game delivers is not an ordinary thing, but they doesn't care about the space. They only consider the time, how fast everything is going on. Even the same applies to Apple, the same applies to Google, the same applies to Amazon, the same applies to Uber also. That is performance, how good you are. Here, performance usually talks about time, not space. Previously, it was space, the space taken, because space used to be much costly before in 1990 and 1980. But now space is not costly. Create a Gmail account, you get 15 GB for free. So time is costly here. Here it mostly talks about time, not space. And at the last, it is testability. Is your code testable? I don't have place here, but I'll write it somewhere down. Testability. Is your code testable? And you will be testing your app before putting into production in the sense directly giving to customers. So yeah, your app has to be testable. Can I zoom out a bit? Yeah. So these are the 10 factors that you need to think of: scalability, availability, reliability, extensibility, maintainability, fault tolerance, modularity, security, performance, and testability. And these all, no one is going to teach you in the technical part. This is not actual technical part. These are some of the principles that you need to consider, that you need to learn by yourself in developing an application. Uber does all these things. Okay. Now, Uber software architecture. Let's go through its actual technical part now. Till now, what I've talked again is not technical. It's all about your, what to say, principles. What are the steps? What are the things that you need to consider to build a good application? But this is your actual architecture. Your backend architecture, I just told you there will be something called a backend. Your backend will have your microservices based architecture, which is service oriented architecture. This is a kind of architecture which uses microservices in your entire architecture. I'll show you in a bit how the architecture looks like. It also uses APIs and other calls for talking with the database, that is MySQL or Cassandra. And it also uses other backend services like Java, Go, Python, Node.js. One more thing about this kind of architecture development is you can use any kind of technology that you like. There is no rule that you have to use only this, because every technology has its own advantages and disadvantages. If you talk Java, good in security. C and C++, they give you good speed. Python, good data handling and scalability. JavaScript, it has a lot of versatility. So every technology has its advantages and has its disadvantages. You can pick whatever you want. If you want to work with the JavaScript, and if you want with Node.js, you can work. If you want to work with Java, and if you want to work with something else like Spring Boot, you can work on that. If you want to work with Flask and JavaScript, you can work on that. It's actually fine. You can work on Flask and Angular also. I know a few applications which works on Angular in the front end and Flask on the back end. So you can use that also. There's no strict restrictions that you have to only use this. You can use anything. Next is your front end architecture. For the front end part, mostly everyone will be going with React.js or AngularJS. There are only few apps that uses Vue.js, Ember, and Backbone. Most of the apps that are present right now in the web development world, they are based on React and they're based on Angular. And more React.js and AngularJS, they are nothing but frameworks of your JavaScript. You'll be learning about them. And yeah, mobile app and your web app. Your mobile application and your web application both have the same API layer to communicate with the backend services. Again, the backend services again communicates with the database. So your internal designs, your colors, your styling, everything can be done with these technologies. And again, you can use any of them. There's no restriction. So this is how that, again, I told you, we talked about backend, we talked about front end. Now we'll be talking about the database. Uber uses not one but many database structures to handle its data, because if you think, Uber gets its data from many different places. It gets data from many different places, like your user data, the ride data, the cab driver data, where you're going, how much time it is taking, how much you're paying, are there any traffic barricades in between them, what is the car it was running on, what is the engine. It takes a lot of data. It takes minute details too. It takes very minute details. It also takes the time between the driver to reach you, and once the driver reaches to your place, how much time you took to go to the cab. It calculates every single point of time of data. So there is like a lot of data collection happening from you getting into the Uber to the destination. So it uses different technologies like Hadoop distributed file system, HDFS, we call it HDFS. It uses Amazon S3. Previously it used to use S2, but now it is using S3. It uses Cassandra. And yeah, your HDFS is used for batch processing, like batch data, when collected data, collective data. And S3 used for long-term storage, like you going to the destination, how much time it took. That is a long-term data storage and historical data too. This Cassandra is used to take real-time data. When you're traveling, maybe if the driver took a shortcut, what real-time data, where the cab is, where it is moving and all. So that these are the different technologies that are used by your Uber to store all the data. And after storing the data, it has to process it to actually show you the output, actually to show you the cab moving in a particular direction. It not only has to store it, it has to process it. So the processing again takes a different type of technology. It uses Apache Spark. Here it uses Apache Spark for batch processing and Apache Flink for stream processing. Batch processing is again the data which already Uber knows. Batch processing is nothing but the data which already Uber knows. Uber already knows the car data. Uber already knows your data. But Apache Flink, on the other hand, it takes the data from your destination, from your where you're getting it to your destination. In the middle, what is happening, that is getting streamed up by Apache Flink. Apache Spark takes your batch processing data, means already data that already it has before, already it knows. Now, the ride booking and which Uber cab getting to you is dependent on many factors. It is dependent on many factors. For example, you usually think Uber rates only riders, but Uber also rates users. I don't know if you know this or not. Uber internally will rate not only riders, it will rate you what kind of customer you are. It will see what kind of customer you are. For example, if you're doing malpractices in the Uber, there is a hack like you can get into the Uber and you can just cancel the ride. If you are near to the destination and if you cancel the ride, you no need to pay the Uber guy. Your money will be refunded. It's a Uber hack. But if you do 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, when you book your Uber cab, right, Uber application will not give you a cab. It will give you a rider with very bad rating. So there are many factors that are involved in giving a Uber cab to a person. There are many ways. There are many factors involved. It's not a simple thing. It is a very complex architecture. And if you're a good customer, you will always get good riders. If you're a bad customer, you will always get a bad riders. So this is what the entire architecture looks like, the surge pricing system. You have your cab, you have your supply, and you have your rider, your demand. Cab is nothing but the cab guys who takes the cab. They are the cab people who has the car, and they will be noting it in their mobile phone like they're available and all. Then you are the rider. You are the rider and you are having the demand. They are giving the supply and you are giving the demand. Actually, if you think in 1960s, before Uber, this entire architecture used not to be there. This entire architecture is not there. Just there will be a cab. You will be calling the cab. You will be getting into the cab, and you will be just going to the destination. Over. The transaction is completed. But Uber came. Uber created this entire architecture. Uber created this entire architecture, and this eradicated the problem of you not knowing where the cab is. In olden days, that was the problem. Before the Uber, I don't know where the cab is. The cab people, like in India, it used to be very easy. Like auto people will be going here and there, but in other countries, there will be no auto rickshaws going here and there. It used to be very troublesome. You don't know where the cab actually is. So that problem got solved by this Uber, by Uber's architecture. I will make it easier for you. This is way more complex, but I'll try to make as easy for you. Cab supply is there, right? These are the cab drivers. They're giving their supply. They'll be taking their phone. They'll be taking their available time, and then that goes to this WF LB. I'll not go too deep. I'll just go top and top. So their data, eventually what is happening in all these processes, their data is getting stored in all these different kinds of databases. Think of them as your databases. They're not actually databases. There are many eventual things happening there. I won't go deep, but yeah, all their data is getting stored in one place. It's getting processed in different ways. What kind of drivers they have, what kind of cars they have, what kind of engines they have, are they going in good condition, are they maintaining it, are they good people. It calculates many things. Then you have the rider. Now the rider also gives his own information. He will be giving his own information, like what kind of rider you are. Are you a good rider or a bad rider? You will be giving a lot of your information. Now what Uber does is it will match you with a cab driver. That is what Uber is doing. That's it. It will be matching you with the cab driver, and for doing that, it is having this kind of architecture. This is the surge pricing system. Also, even in India, there are some allegations. Even in here, there are some allegations that Uber, even if you're booking, if you and your friend are booking Uber cab, let's say you and your friend, you're beside to one another, you're booking a cab to the same destination. You will be getting one price, your friend will be getting another price. This happens. Even we tried out once. In my phone, it used to show one amount. Even my friend's phone, it showed some other amount. But we are rich. We are going to the same destination. That is surge pricing system. That is called surge pricing system. You cannot say what it is dependent on. Previously, it used to be dependent on only time and the ride you take, but now it was completely different. AI got involved into the pricing system. Even in India, that's what the cases is going on, that it should not be like that. It has to be the same. Even if I'm a bad customer, even if he's a good customer, the price has to be the same. Maybe the service they provide has to be changed, but the price has to be same. That is what in just previously last month or before month a case was filed. Yeah, the search pricing system is that your pricing, your cab price is dependent on many other things. It's dependent on the weather, the time, how many times you booked a cab. Are you a new customer or are you an old customer? Are you going to a good place or are you going to a bad place? And also, yeah, the weather. The weather is the main thing, because in winters when it is snowing, the Uber prices go high. It will be like $40, $50. It will be going very high. But in summers and in normal days, it will be like 20 to 10. So it also depends on weather. And if you are going to a very snowy place, price will be different. So such pricing system tells you all that. It is dependent on various kinds of things. And based on that, you will be getting your price. And what is the shortest path possible also, such pricing system will be calculated. Next, analytics and monitoring for software system. This is one thing. Again, we need to talk about it. Okay, this is my mouse. I'm sorry. Okay, let's talk about this real-time analytics. Real-time analytics is nothing but one thing I like about Amazon and one thing I don't like about Flipkart is Amazon shows me where my package is, when it got started, in which airport it is going, when it is landed, when it is coming to my home. It shows the entire path. It is live tracking. It has real-time data. It has real-time data and it has real-time thing that is going on. But other Flipkarts and all, they don't give me that. They don't show me that real-time tracking. But Uber, if you take Uber and other cab services also, Uber provides you with real-time analytics. It tells you where your cab is, in which direction it is coming, which path it is taking, in how much time it will reach you, how much time you will be reaching your destination. Everything is calculated to the precise point. Maybe sometimes it is like 10 minutes here, that side and that side, but usually it is on time. Usually it's on time, that it is calculated in real time. And this happens because real-time analytics are very important in your app nowadays. For example, if you have ordered some food, the delivery guy went to the restaurant. He took your order, and in the middle, his tire got punctured. Let's say his tire got punctured, something happened. The real-time analytics will tell you that the person is still here. It will take more time to reach you. That is real-time analytics. If there is no real-time analytics, it will show you in 15 minutes you'll get your order, but you will not get your order. Only because of real-time analytics, that system will know that something happened to the rider. He cannot make it in time, so it will be adding the time to your final time. So that is real-time analytics. Let's say real-time data tracking. Next, alerting. Alerting can be it has two different senses. One is for the company and one is for the user. If there is a security breach, if there is a security breach, and the system has to alert the company right and then. First of all, there should not be any security breach, but even if it happens, this company has to be alerted then and there. It should not be alerted after 1 month, after 2 days like that. It should be alerted then and there. And also the same with the customer also. For example, if something happened to the customer, in Uber, there is a feature called help when during the ride and all. If I don't feel comfortable or safety with the rider, I can directly report there. Once I report there, it will be going to all the contacts nearby, and that is called alerting. You can use this alert feature. Whenever something goes wrong, there and there itself, the system has to be alerted. I'll just write alert. Next is monitoring. Monitoring and real-time analytics again. They fall under the same thing. Actually, this monitoring has different branches. Monitoring has real-time analytics. Monitoring has logging. Monitoring has dashboarding. Monitoring has alerting. They all comes under same branches actually. So this all comes under monitoring. On top of all this is your monitoring. Monitor is nothing but doing all these things 24/7. Next is logging. Logging is nothing but your app has to log everything. For example, I booked a cab. The app has to register it. The app has to register it, and it has to have a record. And it has to have a record log somewhere that Monesh Venkul has booked this cab from here to this destination, and he has priced this much, and he has given this much of amount. That is called logging. Let's say noting everything down. And this logging also helps developers, not only the customers or the company in cases and all. Logging also helps developers in many ways, because for example, anytime your app is having some trouble, logging only will help you in debugging the code. So logging does not only about company or customer, it also helps the developer in many situations. Because that is the play. Only because of logging you will be knowing what is going on. Only because of logging you will understand, oh, okay, Monish has booked the cab, it is successful. He has reached the destination, okay, successful. Everything is getting noted only because of logging. Next is dashboarding. Dashboarding is nothing but showing everything. Actually, without dashboarding also you can see the analytics, but there will be no UI. Dashboarding is nothing but UI for monitoring. UI for monitoring. For monitoring, you will be creating a neat UI kind of thing where it showcases all your data analytics. It will be showing all your real-time data. That is your dashboard. I can show you some of the examples of dashboard. And this is how a dashboard looks like. It's just a UI where you can see your real-time data. This is how it looks. So yeah, now it is time for quiz. I will give you the link. We will be playing the quiz in Kahoot. The questions will be asked from whatever I have talked till now. Yeah, based on that only questions are framed, and based on that only questions will be asked to you. So yeah, no worries. There will be no prizes and all. We'll be just playing for fun. Okay. So how do you play this Kahoot? You need to install Kahoot app. You can join by going to www.kahoot.it, or you can just download Kahoot application. Once you download Kahoot application, you just need to enter this game pin 617237. Enter it, and automatically you will be entering into the game, where we'll be just playing a trivia questions, a few trivia questions, maybe just like 5. Once you all join, we will start. And if you're facing any trouble joining, you can also put it in chat and I will help you out. I think I can also give you the link. You can just click on the link if you are facing any trouble. Everyone.
Monish, we can wait for just 2 minutes. We'll see if anyone are joining Kahoot quiz or not. Not means
Yeah.
quiz for today's session.
Okay, we'll just wait for 2 minutes and then we will end.
Yeah, then we'll.
Yeah. Okay.
Gurneet, you can take the call. Thanks, Monish.
Yeah.
Thank.
So we can end it, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can leave the session. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Munesh, for that informative presentation on Uber's architecture. I'm sure everyone learned a lot about how Uber handles millions of ride requests and ensures real-time responsiveness.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you then. Have a
Yeah,
good day, everyone.
yeah. So now I'll be handing over the session to Namrata Tripathi, who will be walking you through our program structure. Over to you, Namrata.
Hi guys, hello everyone. It was a pretty informative and insightful session, guys. I'm sure the audience will agree with me. Thank you so much, Monish, for taking out time and for this wonderful session. Okay, Gurmeet, I will take it from here. I think. Thank you guys for joining in today. Just give me a few seconds. Let me share my screen and then we shall start. Please let me know if my screen is visible.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. Thank you guys once again for joining in today. Uh, we at Alma Better, guys, Alma Better is student-centric education institute that was started with just one goal in mind, which was of bridging the gap between physical colleges and the industry in general. Okay, the high demand tech courses that we offer, we make sure they are limited, they're not just limited to students from a single stream, be it be the learning journey, curriculum, or doubt sessions. Everything that we have designed is in a way that helps students from any and every background. A lot of you must be having this question: how Alma Better works differently than other edtech institutes. Guys, there is a famous saying: alone you go fast and together you go far. I'll repeat: alone you go fast, together you go far. And yes, we believe that studying in groups not only makes studying fun and interactive, but also insightful, right? A problem statement can have more than possible solutions. So when you study in groups or do projects in groups, you get to know how the same problem statement is solved by your counterparts in different ways that probably might not have crossed your mind ever, right? Growing in groups is not just limited to studies. We do a lot of activities in groups during our placement journey as well, where we make sure your confidence is boosted, be it your communication skills, interview skills, and whatnot. So we at Alma Better make sure that all our students are studying in chunks. We create a group of five students. They study together. Some of the students might be from the technical background, and then some can be from the non-technical background, right? Technical background students can always help the non-technical background students. They might also know how were they able to understand the topic correctly. Is the topic practically is the person is the student being able to uh, deploy the concept practically while you do projects in team. Coming to the third most important thing that we offer to our students is get ready for jobs in groups. Okay, we have a rigorous 12 weeks of placement program where you not just where we not just prepare you in groups for the interviews, we do mock interviews with you. We also prepare you for group discussion sessions. You sit in groups, you discuss on various topics that helps you boost your communication skills. We will be preparing you from end to end for the industry. Guys, now the biggest question arises in the mind of the learners, which is also a very valid question: that why should we go for Alma Better? Okay, we all know the condition of placements in majority of 2, 3, and 4 year colleges in India. Placements are not happening at all. Why do you think is that? You might have asked this question to yourself. Okay, you might have completed your BTech, BCA, or MBA from any of the college, but can you truly say that you are ready for the industry? When I completed my MBA, I was not ready for the industry. I had to sit at home for 8 to 9 months to find another job, find my first job. I had to upskill myself, because anything that I studied in the college was not fruitful. was not enough to get me an industry relevant job. I had to sit back at home for 8 months. I had to upskill myself, and then I was able to get my first job. And there is where Alma Better comes into picture. We will be providing you with industry relevant curriculum. We cover topics from basic to the advanced level, which means we are not providing courses just for the tech background students, but it is also for the non-tech background students. Anybody and everybody who has done graduation or is about to complete graduation wants to do a tech related course and want to end up in a high paying tech related job, Alma Better is the place. Okay. The curriculum is industry relevant. We teach you all those things which you will be able to practically deploy once you join your job. With 100 plus live classes, you will also have the lifetime access to the recorded lectures, which means, let's say we upgrade our curriculum, we add a few new topics in the curriculum later at some point, probably once you are done with the course and you have gotten your job, you might want to upgrade yourself with the new topics in the market. You can always refer to your dashboard. 20 plus capstone project. In each module wherein we are providing with the capstone project, we do not just teach you and ask you to do the projects on your own. Okay, we make sure that you are doing at least one project each module with your mentor, and then you are doing one project on your own to make sure that okay, you are understanding the concepts. 1,000 plus coding problem assessments, and there is no bar to that. If we want you to do 5 projects but you want to do 10 projects, you can definitely do that and you can get your corrections done. You can ask for the support. We provide live doubt resolution sessions. We have a live doubt resolution platform wherein you can join between any time during the day from 11 to 8 p.m. and you can have your doubts resolved one on one via a video call or an audio call. Once you are done with the course and you have your certificate in your hand and you will enter into the placement career services, our Alma-X placement program, we will be training you rigorously for 12 to 15 weeks, wherein we will be conducting 50 plus mock interviews with you. We will be preparing you for group discussion sessions, technical coding round, your communication skills, wherein we will be teaching you grammar, parts of languages, everything. So we do not just cover the technical part, we also cover the soft skill part at Alma Better to make sure that you get a job that you deserve at the end of the day. Hence, coming to the last offering that we have, it is a 100% job guarantee program. We have, it is 700 plus right now, guys. We have 700 plus hiring partners right now who comes to us every day with requirements. When are you launching your next batch? When can we have n number of students? We are about to announce vacancy for such and such roles. We will be needing such number of candidates for this role. We are creating quality candidates. It is hardly the scenario where we go out and ask whether you have vacancy or not. It has become vice versa. Hiring partners are coming to us and asking, do you have students? We are about to hire for such and such role. So we create quality candidates. Let's quickly go through the path of success, how your journey with Alma Better will look like. Okay, the first step is that you enroll, that you sign up. You can always request a call back from our website. You can speak with the academic counselor, or I will leave my email address and phone number at the end of the session. You guys can give me a call. Probably I can counsel you guys which course can you go ahead with, which course will suit you. So sign up, sign up for request callback, speak with your counselor, enroll for the course. Okay, once that is done, you come to your step 2 where you start your learning journey and you start getting your certifications. And when I say certifications, I mean that you will not only be getting the final certificate at the end of the course, but you also get certificates module wise. Let's say you have completed your front end in web development, you will have front end web development certificate in your hand, which means if you want to start applying for internships or jobs on your own, you will have more than sufficient resources and a proof in your hand to make sure that okay, you can go ahead and apply on your own. A lot of our students a lot of our students were able to get a job even before completion of the course. Okay, it's because we provide certificates in the middle of the course as well. As and when course will progress, you will keep getting the certificates module wise. That brings us to the third step. Once you are done with your course, once you have your final certificate in your hand, you can sign the income sharing agreement with us in case you want to go ahead for the career services program. One more thing, guys, that I want to tell you is that here at Alma Better, we provide a risk-free education. We will not be forcing you. We do not have any such proposition where we ask you to sign income sharing agreement or any kind of agreement at all after enrolling into the course. You enroll into the course, you complete your course, and then you decide whether you want to go for the placements or not. If you think at the end of the course that I am skilled enough, I have my certificate, I am confident that I can go out in the world and apply for jobs and get a job on my own, you can freely do so. Okay, there will be no foundations to that. You will not be paying anything to us. There will be no hidden charges for the same. Okay, so once you complete your course, if you think you want to get a placement from our end, because we provide 100% placement guarantee, you can feel free to sign the income sharing agreement with us and start your placement journey with us. Okay, once you sign the income sharing agreement, you enter into the placement program, which we also call as Almax placement program. We again train you for 12 weeks rigorously, where we do all these things that I mentioned prior as well, where you will be getting 50 plus mock interviews, daily business communication classes, group discussion sessions, resume building sessions. We will be building your portfolio, where we will help you polish your LinkedIn profile, will help you create your GitHub profile. If you go for our web development program, it holds a lot of weightage when it comes to that. We will be preparing you end to end in your soft skills as well. Once that is done, we start sharing your resumes, we start sharing your profiles with our hiring partners. Guys, 10 days down the line, when we start sharing your resumes with our hiring partners, at any given point in time, there will be 10 to 12 companies in your pipeline. Because once you are done with your placement training program, we share your resume with at least 4 to 5 hiring partners on a daily basis, which means at any given point in time, 10 days down the line, you will always have 10 to 12 companies in your pipeline. Again, we do not force our students to accept an offer as soon as it comes. You will be working with your mentors closely for 2 to 3 months. They will know your potential, they will know what kind of offer can you bag, how much what kind of offer can you bag, and your mentor will be suggesting you accordingly. Okay, it is not necessary that as soon as you get an offer you have to accept it. No, you can sit back, relax, you can give a lot of interviews, and you can decide whether you want to go ahead with the package or not. Coming to the learning activities that we cover here at Alma Better, for your technical skills, we have live lectures. We conduct live lectures weekly thrice, which means we will be covering entire course end to end in the live lectures. We conduct live lectures in the evening, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then we have a doubt resolution session between 10 to 10:30. We have lab experiments as well. Let's say if you are stuck somewhere, let's say you are not a student of mathematics, you haven't studied mathematics after 10th, and you are not very much familiar with the concept of probability. We have a lab where you can go ahead and do visual experiments, and you will be able to understand how the concept works in the real life, which will help you in relating the concept with the practical problems that you would want to solve at your job or during your course. Then we have numerous number of projects and assignments. We make sure that our students are doing assignments after each topic. We make sure our students are sitting for test after a few topics to make sure they're solidifying their learnings as and when they are moving ahead. Then we have group discussions where we do discuss about the technical topics that you have covered so far. Then we have, for motivating you guys, for giving you guys a sort of industry exposure, we provide you with one-on-one mentorship session. You get a lot of mentorship sessions that you can book from your dashboard, and you can have a one-on-one discussion with the industry expert, how you can discuss how the industry in general is out there, what is it that industry expects in a candidate, am I preparing the right way, I am doing this right now, would you want me to alter my preparations, or do you want me to make modifications in my process, what is it that I'm missing, what is it more that I can do. Then we have guest lectures on bi-weekly, I guess, and then we have community participations as well, where you can participate in the quizzes or the contests that we keep running, and you can win rewards as well. Coming to the last part, which is mandatory for Alma X, guys, you have to understand that here at Alma Better, we are giving you 100% placement guarantee, which means if we are giving 100% guarantee, we have to make sure that the student is entirely ready for the real world job. Okay, so in order to complete your certification, we have put some tests and projects in each modules. Okay, once you complete 2 modules, let's say, once if your module is shorter, it has lesser topics, you might have 3 competency challenges in that. If your module is larger, let's say, has topics around 10 to 12 topics in one module, you might have to give 5 competency challenges. We do not want to overwhelm our students. We don't put tests after a very long time. Let's say you have completed 2 to 3 modules and then you have to sit for a test. No, it is not going to work like that. At the end of the day, we are all humans. We make sure that we have a test at after a few modules, after a few topics, to make sure that students are solidifying their learnings. Anything that they're learning in the classes, they are being able to pen down the same. So as we used to give tests in our schools or in our colleges, we used to have 2 kinds of tests: theoretical test and the projects and the practical exams, right? So it's exactly the same. Competency challenges are the theoretical examinations that you will be giving, and capstone projects are going to be the practical examinations that you will be giving, which means projects that you will be working on. So these are mandatory for Almax. You have to complete all your projects, you have to complete all your competency challenges, which can also be called as theoretical test, in order to get your final certification and go for the Almax placement program. Coming back to the hiring partners, as we discussed, we have 700 plus hiring partners now. And the situation from the time that when we started has become vice versa. We get a lot of requests from our hiring partners right now that we are going to have such and such vacancies, we are going to hire for such number of candidates, please let us know when your next batch is graduating, we would like to do some interviews. As you can see, our average package right now is 8 to 9 LPA, although we promise a minimum package of 5 LPA in our income sharing agreement, guys, but we make sure that the deserving candidates are getting what they deserve. These are all freshers who are getting placed at a package of 8 to 9 LPA. It's their first job. Meet your instructors. I will quickly give you a snippet about where our instructors are from. Okay, so all our instructors are industry professionals. They have worked in the industry. They have worked in their area for at least 7 years or more. We have such instructors with rich experience, and they teach you and they prepare you for the real world jobs. We have instructors from the man companies, and these instructors are also some of our instructors are also friends with our founders uh, who have worked in quite big MNCs, guys. We'll quickly take a walkthrough of student dashboard. Let me quickly show you guys how our dashboard looks like, what all resources will you guys have once you enroll into our course. This is the community update section, guys, on the right side of your dashboard, where you will be able to see how your counterparts are doing in general. Who in your group has completed the mock interview, at what stage are they in their learning journey. You will be able to see all the updates here. Okay, this is the home section. You can
Namrata, I don't think people can see. It's just the presentation showing.
all right, just let me change my screen. Is my screen visible,
Yeah,
Guneet?
now it's visible. Yeah.
Okay, guys, so sorry for that. So this is the dashboard. This is going to be the dashboard that you will have access of once you enroll into our courses. This is the community update section, which you can find on the right side of your dashboard. You will be able to see how your counterparts are doing, where your counterparts are in their learning journey, in what stage are they right now. You will keep getting the updates from here, which will also be motivating for you that okay, this guy had joined with me and he has come so far already. Let me quickly climb up onto the ladder, right? This is the home page of your dashboard, where you will be able to see general information. You can start your onboarding process here. You will be We have a short presentation, a video over here, where you will be able to see what all things that you need to go through before you start your learning journey with us. Although we do conduct a 1 hour orientation session, that is also your first class when you join the course, where we help you with all the resources that are available at your disposal to start your course and to complete your course. How many modules you have, so all the general information that you need to see, you will find in this dashboard. Let's say how many modules are there in the full stack web development program, how many lessons are you supposed to complete, how many hours of lectures are available that you need to complete. We also have free courses over here, guys. So let's say a lot of you might not have joined the course already. If you want to explore what all topics are we covering, what kind of projects will we be providing, you can feel free to go through the free user dashboard. You will also find a one demo lecture which will be the very first lecture in your dashboard. You can attend the lecture to understand the quality of delivery and whether you are being able to understand the basic English language that we use in our live classes and make a decision. Practice coding assessments. What kind of coding assessments are going to be there that you will have to complete? Practice quiz assessments, capstone projects, and this is our community platform. Gurneet, my screen is visible, right?
Yes, Namrata, it's visible.
Okay. Guys, this is the community platform. A lot of you might have your LinkedIn profiles. You might be familiar with the LinkedIn application. It is more like a LinkedIn platform, but a closed community only for the Alma Mater students, alumni, candidates, and employees. Okay, you will be able to see if your counterpart has posted a project that the person has recently completed. If somebody wants to ask for suggestions, they can always put, we have a meme fun section over here. We have you can create your groups, you can reach out to other candidates in Alma Better via the messages. You can reach out to the alumni, you can reach out to the instructors, you can reach out to the student success team over here. Let's quickly go back to the dashboard. So this is the home page. All of you who haven't enrolled with us yet, you guys have the access to the free user dashboard. So please feel free to explore on your own once the session is over. This is the learning section of the dashboard where you will be able to track your progress. You can start, if you want to go through a recorded lecture, if you want to go through the resources that are available, you can simply start learning and your course will resume from where you want to study, let's say. All the topics, everything, you will be able to see a snippet over here. You can click on the modules, go inside it and complete your program. This is the classroom section where you can click on the access live class. You will be able to see your upcoming new lecture. Probably, let's say you have a class today in the evening, you will be able to see your upcoming class over here. You just need to click on it and you will be able to join your class. You will also be able to see all the classes that are already done in your batch, and if you want to go through them, you can click on the view recording and you can go through these classes, and these recordings will be available with you for a lifetime, guys. Then we have this practice session where you can attend your coding problems, you can complete your assessments, coding assessments, you can complete your quiz assessments, and yeah, a very smooth experience, guys. Everything is clearly mentioned on the dashboard. You just need to go into the relevant section and you will find what you need. Then you have this project section. As I mentioned, you will be doing projects in most of the modules. So in web development, guys, you will do 6 projects. One will be in two will be in backend development, where one will be a instructor led project where you will be completing a project with your instructor, and then the other one will be done on your own. Then we have 2 more projects in the front end development, where you again will be doing one project with your instructor and the another will be done by your own, which will be scored as well. And then you do 2 projects in your placement journey as well, depending upon the specialization you have chosen, depending upon the industry need, depending upon the companies you are sitting for. You will also be completing 2 more modules in your placement program. One will be instructor led and the other one will be done by yourself. Then we have this Almax career track where you can see your eligibility. As I mentioned earlier, guys, there are two qualifying criterias in order to enter into our Almax placement program. One is competency challenge, which is a theoretical test, and the second is capstone projects, which are more of the practical examinations, the projects that you will be doing, the products that you will be building. Okay, so once that is done, you will be able to track your progress, how many competency challenges are yet to be completed, yet to be qualified, how many projects are yet to be completed or qualified. Once that is done, you will also be able to track your Alma X training program with us, which means, let's say you had to complete 12 business communication classes, but you have attended only 2 so far. So you have to complete the other 10 as well. You're yet to attend the other 10 as well. So you will be able to see all those training program updates as well over here. Then we have the mentorship session. As we discussed, we provide you guys with mentorship sessions where you can book one-on-one mentorship session with the industry expert, and you can have a general discussion with them, how tell them how are you preparing for your course, how is your preparation going, where are you at right now in your student journey. If you want to take suggestions, if you want to hear from him what is it exactly that the companies ask during the interviews, you can ask anything and everything to these industry professionals. You can book your sessions from here. You will be able to see your previous bookings from here. And as I mentioned, I am reiterating on the same thing again, that uh, access to dashboard and exploring through, just explore through the dashboard once. Your experience is going to be very smooth. You will find everything that you need in these sections. If you want to learn, go to learn section, you will find everything here. If you want to attend your classes, go here. If you want to practice the assessments and coding problems that are available for you, go here. It is as easy as a piece of cake. You can raise your tickets from here. You can click here and you can raise a ticket if you're facing any problem. Go to the help section if you want to join the live support. If you have any queries, if you want to have a one-on-one doubt resolution, click here, join our platform, connect with our student success team or the teaching assistant, get your doubts resolved in real time from here. We have AI chat as well, chatbot as well, where you can click and ask your questions, and a lot of your questions shall get answered over here. If you want to report a problem, you can click here and our student success team will get back to you in the 24 hours. Guys, this is the coupon code. All of you can note down. We are providing you all with an introductory early bird discount for our next web development batch that we will commence on 25th August. The enrollment fee, the tuition fee for the training program. Okay, guys, there might be one more question that all of you must be having in your minds, that if it's 100% placement program, why is it that we are charging a tuition fee initially, right? So guys, please understand that Alma Better is a training plus placements company. Okay, and unlike any other institute or unlike any other edtech platforms in the industry right now, probably we do not force our students to sign any kind of agreement initially, which means these two programs are separate. It is not necessary that if you complete your training program with us, you necessarily have to go for the placements program as well, and you will have to pay us the career services fee as well. No, it is not like that. You enroll with us by paying a nominal fee of 29,999, which means this is the tuition fee for the full stack web development course that you will be doing with us. You enroll into the course, you start your learning journey, you complete your course, you get your certificate, and that is it. At that point in time, you decide whether you want to go for the placements or not. If you want to join our Almax placement program, our Almax placement program is 100% pay after placement. You do not pay even a single penny to us until and unless you get a job and you receive your first salary. So this is how it works. So the tuition fee for our web development program or data science program, it is 29,999, and we are introducing an early bird discount for the upcoming web development batch that we are commencing on 25th August. The name is Cohort Firewall. You can use this coupon code and get 35% discount on the tuition fee, which the discounted price will be 19,499. And please note down this coupon code if you are planning to enroll. I will be leaving my phone number, I will be leaving my email address on the chat at the end of the session. You guys can give me a call directly or you can email me, and I'll arrange a call for you, or I will be available to take your calls, guys. I think, Gurneet, we are done here. I am open to take any questions that the audience might be having.
Yeah, thank you so much, Namrata, for giving an overview. And if you guys have any questions, you can ask. Okay, so no questions. So we'll now be signing off. Thank you so much for attending this insightful masterclass. I hope you had a good learning experience. For any questions or queries, please feel free to reach out. Namrata will be sharing her details in the chat section. And we've also shared a feedback form as well. Do fill it out and our team will reach back to you. Thank you so much. I'll be signing off now.
Guys, contact Namrata. She will guide you through the course fees and everything. And we'll be closing the session. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining.